Right now at 5:30, Arizona teachers planning to walk out of their classrooms tomorrow for a third day.
I always teach my students to fight for what they believe in, and here we are.
They're demanding better pay and more funding for education. But Governor Ducey says he's found a way to get teachers what they want.
I think we have a real solution here. It's not perfect, but it's definite progress.
Lawmakers are also working around the clock this weekend to make sure education funding bills get on the table this week.
This is the plan that I'm putting forward. So this deal includes a 20% pay increase for teachers by the year 2020. It's got $100 million for support staff.
Some teachers still aren't buying it. So will we see a deal or no deal? And lawmakers say they are close to unveiling next year's budget, including an education spending plan. Arizona House Speaker J.D. Mesnard says they could unveil their plan as early as tomorrow. He says it demonstrates the legislature's commitment to education. But a lot of school staff are wondering what happens this week. At first, one district, Scottsdale Unified, was saying show up to work on Tuesday. But now within the past hour, Brianna, teachers are now being told otherwise.
Right, it's all changing and it's very confusing for everybody. So I just spoke to a registered nurse within the Scottsdale Unified School District, and she's expressed concern for Tuesday, saying she was afraid that many teachers wouldn't show up. But just minutes ago, SUSD announcing on their website and in a letter to parents that they will now be closed Tuesday, adding to the confusion. This is the message that now appears on their district website, saying they will be closed. Earlier, I talked to Thomasina Burke, known by her students as Nurse Tommy, who says this whole strike has been extremely hard for the kids she works with because they have complex medical problems and cannot legally ride the bus to school or attend school without a registered nurse. She says parents of her kids were forced to stay home Thursday and Friday because of the specialized medical needs and will likely have to do the same thing this week now. She says she's been very conflicted because while she's been out at the Red for Ed rallies fighting for change, she knows her students are struggling each day they're not at school under her professional care.
They have really severe seizures. They all need to be tube fed. My 6 kids and their parents depend on me. They wouldn't be able to go to school unless I was on the bus with them.
And she says she hopes the government passes these education funding bills quickly so that she can get back to school with her kids. But again, SUSD just announcing they will now be closed on Tuesday after initially planning to stay open. We have reached out to the district for details, but so far have not heard back. Lindsay.
Brianna Whitney reporting, thank you. Protests continued at the state capitol this morning, and today's efforts were organized by parents who support educators in their walkout. About 30 parents were out there, and one mom we spoke to says the education funding issue is not only about teacher pay for her, it's also about student funding, which she says will pay off in the long run.
They need money, they need help. So I want them to stay out until we get what the teachers deserve as well as what our students deserve.
More rallies are expected at the state capitol tomorrow as early as 7 in the morning. Well, we know there's a lot of concern and confusion about school closures, so we have a list of which districts will be open and which will be closed tomorrow. Stay up to date on our AZ Family app. Just look for the Schools in Crisis section. There, you can also find a phone directory for Arizona school districts, where to take your kids if you work and you need help, and a list of food distribution locations stepping up to help feed Arizona's kids. Right now, several communities are being forced out of their homes as the tinder wildfire continues to burn on the Mogollon Rim. This is happening north of Payson, and we're told about 500 homes are being threatened in this forested area near Highway 87. APS just confirmed to us they already cut power to 1,500 homes. The rattlesnake fire also continues to burn in eastern Arizona. This one is 63% contained. The wildfire has now burned more than 25,000 acres. This is all in the Fort Apache Reservation, and it began on the 11th. At this point, though, it hasn't threatened any homes. And Ashley DiMartino is joining us. Ashley, these areas in our state were under 2 different warnings/advisories today.
And they were, and they go through this evening. They could possibly be extended, but the National Weather Service has not done that just yet. We're talking about strong southwest winds around the state forest right now, with our strongest winds, as you can see, in northern Arizona. On top of those sustained winds, we've got our current wind gusts. You can see Show Low at 40 miles per hour, Flagstaff at 38 miles an hour. So some very strong wind gusts. I mean, even here in the valley Valley. Our wind gusts are currently sitting at 23 miles an hour. So the red flag warning is in place for the areas you see here in red until 7 p.m. this evening. The wind advisory for northern Arizona, this going until 8 p.m. tonight. Some areas go all the way until 2 a.m. on Monday morning, because that's when we'll start to see those winds calming down. Temperatures for us here in the valley are going to be in the 80s for most of the evening. It was a little bit cooler today, but the big cool down doesn't come till the mid part of the week. We'll take a look at that coming up in your full forecasts.
Ashley, thank you. Developing now, a 4-year-old boy is fighting for his life after family members pulled him out of a backyard pool yesterday evening. This happened at a home near 107th Avenue and Indian School in Avondale. While paramedics rushed him to the hospital, though, we are told he regained a pulse. He remains in extremely critical condition. Mesa Fire rushed to a Valley home this afternoon after a reported drowning. We're told when help got to the scene, a 2-year-old girl was found breathing on her own. She was taken to the hospital. Tonight, it's unclear where she went underwater. 2 people died in a crash in Buckeye Valley. This happened just after 1 this afternoon. The Maricopa County Sheriff's Office says the car lost control and ended up in a canal. Well, the crash tossed the driver from the car, and right now we are working to find out how the driver lost control. Well, take a look at these pictures Chrissy Stevens shared with us this afternoon. It shows a pickup truck hauling a camper on fire. DPS says everybody here got out safely, but boy, look at those pictures. This fire, we're told, did spread to some grass next to Highway 87. We're asking investigators what sparked it.
I definitely felt powerless, defenseless, just scared.
Taking control of your personal safety. That's what this woman says she did when she decided to arm herself. Turns out it's a growing trend among women. Hear what a Valley firearm instructor is saying next.